welcome to my channel, and this is the weekly wrap-up. This is week 4 in January the 20th through the 26th. As I said, this is the weekly wrap-up. The government is now back open. I told you guys I would be announcing that for, you know, every video until we were reopened. So I go back to work tomorrow, back to the grind, back to being behind because I was completely sick last week. I was very hesitant and didn't know if I was going to put out any videos last week, especially on Thursday. But you guys did get my sick and ranty, salty video, which you guys seem to love. Thank you very much, fam. Thank you very much. I cannot believe how explosive that video was. And so many amazing comments on there. So I greatly appreciated that. I'm actually currently in the middle of doing 24 and 48, but I had to get these videos done for you guys so you know what I read last week. I did manage to read 5 books last week, and even though most of those were done on Friday through yesterday, and because I was connected to 24 and 48, you guys will see all of that sort of short footage. This is a review for those 5 books that I have completed. If I complete any more for 24 and 48, you guys will see those on Tuesday's video and again on the weekly video. I won't give reviews for them in the vlog, but I will give those reviews next week if I get any more books done. But yeah, so let's get to what I did read last week. Starting off the week, late in the week, I really struggled through this book, and not in a bad way, but it was All My Truths and One Lie by Fabiola Francisco. I read this because of Romanceopoly, because I get to fill my library space that I did. I've gotten another library space, so I filled it with this book. I give this book 5 stars. This book only has 1 Steam fan. I read it as an arc for Fabiola, and this book follows Nivea and Matthias. Mainly it follows Nivea. This is Nivea's story. This book, oh my goodness, I don't know if you guys watched last week's weekly wrap-up, but I said that, you know, it was on the verge of taking my time, and this book is a moving book. It is so very special, and it really hits home for me, and I can't believe I have to review it first. I can't get all sappy and in my feelings because I have to finish the rest of the video, right? But this book is so very special. It really spoke to my own personal truths and things that I have had to come to terms with in my personal life, and it's just very, very special. Nivea takes a very special walk and journey through finding out some knowledge of her family, and ooh, yes, so many yeses. It just, if you have ever been in a situation where there is sexual abuse or any type of abuse that happens either to you, you know about it, it's within your family, and then it's like put into a black hole of nothingness, and no one understands you and no one believes you, but then years down the road, feelings, memories, all sorts of knowledge is found, it's gonna move you. You're gonna connect with Nivea's journey. And yes, Matthias is there. He's there to help her and not really guide her, but encourage her to own her truths. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful story of finding your truth. I mean, that's all I really can say. I think you really need to experience it firsthand. Just know that it moved me, and I had to take my time. It's very poetic and just very, very beautiful. The next book that I read was Bounced Into Love by Rochelle Paige. This is an erotic short story. I give it 4 stars. I give it 3 Steam fans. I listened to it on Read Me Romance. Read Me Romance podcast. Yes, indeed. In this story, we have Jackson, who is a bouncer. He has moved from Las Vegas to Chicago and is still a bouncer. And you have Kira, who comes in with these coworkers that are supposed to be her friends, but are they really? Are they really? Them friends, I was like, I wanted to like reach in and be like, just smack bitch. Just smack bitch. Because I couldn't stand her friends, her coworkers. But the fun camaraderie that Kira and Jackson have is amazing, because they sort of look at each other from across the bar for 5 to like 6 weeks before they actually talk to each other. Until they finally are like, okay, let's do this thing. I'm gonna talk to you and we're gonna, you know, do the thing. And their interactions are fun. They're super sweet. It has just a very tinge of sexy that's just like, just enough. It's not too dirty, but it definitely puts a smile on your face when you get to those scenes. It's like, oh, oh yes, yes. Not fan of myself, but definitely got the little body chill going on. It is, like I said, set in Chicago, and I really, really enjoyed it. The next book that I read was Filthy Beautiful Forever. This is book number 4 in the Filthy Beautiful series by Kendall Ryan, and I give this book 5 stars. I give it 3 Steam fans. I listened to it on audiobook. I placed it in contemporary, and I did read this for 24 and 48 hours. So I plugged in and I devoured it. This is Colin's story, who is the brother of Colton in the Duet that precedes this book. He is the oldest brother, and it's very interesting. He makes and finds his sort of true love when he's 5 years old. It's so sweet. That part was just like, oh, melt my heart. Will you marry me at 5 years old? And it's like, oh, so sweet. And then, you know, time passes and it's like, hey, let's have this pact. We do some things. We're very special to each other, but we're not going to take it any further. And then come to find out, Collins is having some issues with his current girlfriend, and he doesn't find out those issues and find out what's going on in his mind until Mia comes knocking on his door talking about, hey, we're 30 now. You're not married. I'm not married. So let's get married, right? Yes. And you do get to see Colton and Sophie again, and I loved how they were played into the story but didn't overly exert the story. I loved how Collins got to reintroduce himself and Mia got to reintroduce herself, both of them as adults, not as the way they saw each other as kids, but they still had this like sweetness to it, and it was just so much fun. I'm definitely going to miss that series. I do have one more book to read, so I get to dive back in and sort of see how that middle brother has his story, but this story was great for the series as well. The next book that I read was Flared Up, Boston Fire #6 by Shannon Stacey. I placed this in contemporary. I did read this for 24 and 48 as well. I also read it for my special project, and I give this book 3.75 stars. I only give it 2 Steam fans, and it was an arc by the Read Bliss team, which is the special project that I'm talking about. In this story, we have Ren and Grant. Ren and Grant have a history where they were dating, and then Ren ends up popping smoke and just leaving, just bouncing. Grant goes through some shit, and he has his firefighter buddies to sort of lift him up. There are a lot of extra characters in this story specifically. It is touted as a standalone to the series, but I definitely think that you need to read the first 5 books to even understand this. I'm like, I had all these extra characters and extra romances that were already meshed out. So it was like this couple here, and we used to hang out with this couple. And yes, you do get Ren and Grant's story as a couple, and I just think it took way too long for them to determine why she popped smoke in the first place, unexplained, and then for them to come to a resolution, and then the ending for that resolution to happen was like, poof, but what? Damn, that was quick. So it was like, okay, yeah, that just happened. Then the final book that I read last week was Tripping on a Halo by Alessandra Torre. I placed this in rom-com. I only give this book 3 stars. I give it 2 Steam fans. I did have it as an ARC from NetGalley. I listened to it on audiobook for 24 and 48. This book is so special. This book follows Autumn, who is... How can I... describe Autumn. Autumn is like this weird sort of character. You're automatically thrown into the story where Autumn is like trying to follow Declan, who is our main character, out of his favorite spot. She has this giant inflatable adult toy, and she's knocking around kids, and it's like, with stalker, stalker. You come to find that Autumn thinks that she is Declan's guardian angel, and then some other things happen, and then the story's over. Normally, I am a huge fan of Alessandra Torre's crazy twists that go on, but this one, I was like, what? Did that really just happen? And then, what? Okay. I just didn't get it. It wasn't... So yeah, I loosely place it in romantic comedy. Some people will find this as a romantic comedy with a little bit of heart and stuff like that in there. There were some steamy parts, but they weren't that steamy. And it's set in Florida. So those are the books that I read last week. The books that I am currently reading for this week and continuing with 24 and 48 is Perfectly Scripted, book number 2 in the scripted duet by Christy Pastore. Oh my gosh, I loved Holiday and Ronan before, and that was before I even knew their backstory. This is their second book to conclude what was going on with them. Holiday is such an independent freaking character. Oh my god, I love her so very much. She is so strong. The things that she had to go through, I was like, whoo! I mean, I knew it was going to be rough from unscripted because she sort of tells you what she went through, but to begin Perfectly Scripted with the actual event, I was like, ooh, that's very rough. That's very, very rough. Oh, my heart. Oh. And then seeing her and Ronan evolve from that, she definitely, it has so many realistic aspects to it. She's using therapy to help her. She is using, communication. I mean, God, this is not your typical love story in that everything is all hearts and flowers. It definitely gives you that grit that is needed, and I can't wait to see how they continue to progress in their relationship to get to where I know them as a happily married couple. So I'm looking forward to finishing that, hopefully really, really soon. And then I am also reading Anti-Stepbrother by Tijan. Reading that for 24 and 48. I have roughly 10% more to go through that. This book is absolutely crazy. Total drama. I mean, I definitely had to take off my adult hat. Sit it over there. Sit over there. Adult hat over there. Remembering that this is a new adult story. It's set in college. Our two characters, one is in love with her stepbrother, who she has put on a pedestal, and then she ended up going to the same college as him. Was like, oh, we're going to go to college together, and we're going to get together, all because of what happened on graduation night, and he's going to love me forever, and we're just going to have happily ever after. But come to find out, he's like this serial dater and a total douche. I mean, like, straight up. And I have no love for his character whatsoever, not even at this point. And then, you know, in walks his frat brother, Keeland, and I'm like, oh yeah, yep, you two need to get together. You need to work that out, work it out. Right now, they're just like friends, and it's like, can we get to it? Can we get to... Okay. And then there's some other things that are going on, but it's definitely a total drama-rama series. I am enjoying it, the total drama-rama-ness of it. Making up my own words here. And I think overall I'm going to enjoy this story. I should be done with it soon, and you guys will see that full review next week. And then for 24 and 48, I hope to also complete Cocky Bastard by Penelope Ward and by Keeland. Alrighty, for the Romanceopoly, I'm not doing all that crazy editing anymore. I already got enough on my plate. So for that, I rolled, and I am doing Memory Lane, Warrior's Way, and Cozy Corner. So make sure you go over to check out those 3 picks for those books over on my Instagram to find out which books I'm going to be reading for that. Yeah. So have you read any of the books that I have read last week that I'm currently reading for 24 and 48? Any of that good stuff? Let me know down in the comments. Let's discuss. Did you watch my Thursday rant video? Let me know that too. If not, go back and check that out. I'm pretty salty in it. Oh my goodness. I almost forgot to let you guys know I will be doing the premiere for the 2018 Bookish Academy Awards on Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you guys will be watching as I pick my favorites for 2018 out of the nomination videos that I have already put out. So please go check that out. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later.